Who doesn't enjoy a game that points out how silly games can be? Bold Blade is a simple game with a very silly premise. What if your blade could be increased in size and width as the game progresses? I ended up having such a weird looking sword, it was awesome. The controls are interesting in Bold Blade and take some getting used to. You can move around the arena, but to swing the sword, you only have the ability to swing it in a circle around you. I used a controller and the triggers swing the blade left and right. I had to switch it so the controls went clockwise and counterclockwise instead of left and right, as just left and right was so confusing for me. Anyway, once you get the hang of it though, it's fun and an interesting way to control the character. It simplifies it. On one hand, that's nice because all you have to worry about is not getting hit. On the other hand, once you've figured it out, it's pretty easy. The only thing to watch out for is the enemy swords, which can knock you back, leaving you open to getting hit. The game does include a stamina bar, which affects how hard you hit. If the bar is over 50%, you do more damage. Under 50%, and the damage is reduced. Meaning if you can just hit them enough, you don't need to worry about it. How fast you swing the sword has some kind of effect because it just bounces off otherwise. I kind of wish the power of the hit was tied to how fast or how hard you were swinging your weapon though. To build back up stamina, you just have to wait a few moments. One nice thing the game does is switch the sound effect if you're doing reduced damage. Well, that's the whole system though. As your sword grows in length and width, it gets a lot easier because you can keep the enemies at a distance. It makes the stamina system easier as well because generally enemies are further away from you. When you do kill them, the remaining enemies will not be close to you, so you'll have plenty of time to wait for the meter to refill. The game is most difficult at the beginning of the game and gets progressively easier as it continues. Kinda weird. There are also other character improvements you can purchase in various shops. This includes improvements to your health, armor, speed, sword strength, and stamina. Very basic character improvements. Most, if not all, the enemies drop gold that can be used to purchase these upgrades, sword strength being the most important. There's another upgrade I haven't mentioned yet, Psi Powers. These are given to you about halfway through the game and have some options for upgrades. The first power you get are several bolts coming out of your body. These will damage your enemies. Later on, you can unlock a heal, a thunder attack, and upgrade your mana bar. These Psi Powers are given so late in the game, they don't seem worth it. I didn't even bother spending any gold to upgrade it and completed the game just fine. On a second playthrough, I ignored them completely. The heal is absolutely not worth it, as the game is very generous with death. You just restart back on the main map with the gold you collected in your death run, allowing you to purchase upgrades which will probably allow you to complete it a second time through. Why would you even bother taking the healing? That's my biggest problem with Bold Blade. It's too easy. I definitely didn't have to buy all the upgrades. I'm not sure I had to even buy as many as I did. Also, the game doesn't do enough to iterate on the idea of a giant blade. Where are the varied levels that include obstacles because you can't swing your blade all the way around? What if you were fighting next to a wall? Or what if it got too long and you couldn't stop swinging it? Or where are the enemies that can only be hit from one side? I could keep going, but I won't. Bold Blade isn't bold with how adventurous they were exploring these mechanics that they created. I know each level is going to spawn enemies. After killing certain ones, I can move to the next wave. And there are 3 waves to a stage. Every time, without fail. There are about 3 types of enemies too, which is just not nearly enough. It was really strange when I came across a minigame that's a 2D shooter. Completing the game awards you gold, which I didn't need, but it's a nice thought. It's an interesting minigame, but I didn't get its inclusion. This doesn't have anything to do with the regular mechanics of the game, and the game is short. I didn't need a break. Why include this at all? Look, I suppose you could challenge yourself to play through a second time with limitations, but these would be self-imposed and would be a lot more exciting if included in the game. I would try a mode where I was stuck with the original size of the blade, or even a no gold mode where all the upgrade shops were missing. That sounds like a real test of skill. At this point, I'm really wondering if I'm missing a secret game in here. There's so much content that I didn't have to interact with to complete the game. I'm extremely confused. I completed the game in 30 minutes the first time, and now I can do it in 15, which seems a bit short. I couldn't find a secret area, and nothing stood out to me that I could explore further. I'm going to look like such an idiot when something else is found in this game. Oh well. Overall, Bold Blade is a really neat take on a brawler. I love the idea of swinging a blade around in a circle. It's so simple and fun. However, with the game not taking it further than what's seen in the first 5 minutes of gameplay, what's the point? It's too bad this is one of the more interesting mechanics I've come across. Oh man, thanks for watching.